professionals to go first. And then now they will be employed in the different aspects of what it is the government needs so that we can really set the government the way we want it set and then now have it run the right way forevermore. What is wrong with that? That's what we want. Yes, man. And the professionals are in America like, whoa, all over the place. Yes, man.
Yes.
If we not get them to pay attention to what we're saying, because what we're saying, belongs to all of us. They are first. It belongs to them first. Yes, man.
Now, like I say again, when I go take away from first world, I can't to them what them call first world status of black Americans by virtue of them being in captive in America, them get exposed to a whole heap of things. We not take away that from them. And them economic black strong as black people. And them resources, they are exposed to a lot of resources that can be utilized. We not take away none of that. However, when the elder talk about as make it seems as if professionalism alone in America, I can't subscribe to that. And furthermore, I and I want people, me not discredit that, and Rastafari is the tool we are gonna organize, but first we have to get the mindset right first. And too much confusion right now when it comes to the sistrings, the black Americans them. You know what I mean? In America, black people, let me not hide black people in America and black people in America are divided up in a many different ways. Some of them are Islam, some of them are black Muslim, some of them are Hebrew Israelites, some of them are Christian, some of them have Rasta, some of them declare Rasta, some of them are atheists. So are too many different. Some of them are feminists, some of them are this, some of them are too much confusion. Them in a state of confusion right now. And them in a everything. And some of them want disconnect. Them are not African. Them are disconnect from Africa. Them are indigenous. Them are native. There are too much confusion. Them confused right now. So all I and I know for leave I and I to follow that. We can't do that. Rastafari is I and I identity and out of Rastafari I and I can knowledge of self, implement knowledge, inculcate the knowledge of Rastafari and the reason for Rastafari and why we must say Rastafari. And it have to come, we have to decolonize the mind first. Right now in our black America is a state of confusion to the point now where them even turn around now and disconnect themselves so much that them even want to war with everybody else in the diaspora, the black superiority and specialness and Ronald Pennico and even you Bansu Kwasi Dijama Bansu Kwasi a kind of endorse that specialness about them. There ain't nothing special about them. For that matter, there's nothing special about I and I more than I and I come over here, come over under the diaspora and a subjugation and the ones them that refuse a war from then to anything now, which is I and I Rastafari, the resistance. And this is why I and I declare Rastafari because I and I identify I and I own identity and declare I and I own divine. This is why I and I is here. And they say this. So, but anyway, at this I and I utilize this to identify and assure Rastafari is different from Rastafarians. Remember that. And Rastafari is not Rastafarites. Are two different, a different school of thought.
And then now it come down to we. So you see, black Americans is very special, Yes, man. Special. How with you?
Like me say again, listen to him. And like me say again, maybe again, just like all the black Americans them, close proximity to white America, mainstream America, and them take on that influence. At the same thing, it look like to them elders here. By virtue of them living in America and being in America, the influence, black American influence on them, I want them the war, them thought process. I make them declare black Americans as superior to them. It look like that I go on. Because I don't know what is so special about black America than the rest of the diaspora. What is so special about them? Other than the fact that them live in America and by extension of being in America, them they are in more close proximity to mainstream America, which is white America, and then by extension, them get exposed to a lot of resources where them can utilize for domesticated process, because them can't get outside a servant and domestication. Else, the northern aggressive, recessive people them will step on them like they did back then, and them still are doing it now. So what is so special about that? What is so special about being a special servant? Refuse to reclaim and take your sovereignty, like our Rastafari, I declare I and I sovereignty. That is why I and I bold enough to declare His Majesty as God, simply because I and I say so. We don't need no more explanation on that. And declare I and I identity. We don't need no permission to declare Rastafari. So what is so special about Black American? And again, make me disclaimer right now to my African Americans them. This word, so when you hear me talk about Black Americans, I'm not talk about African Americans. Because Africans Americans know who they are and know them connection. Black Americans are the ones that always want to disconnect. And it look like I said, anyway, from me listen to them elders here, I say, them not look on Black America, them look on Black Americans through rose colors, then them not analyze and critical analysis of Black American psychology. Because if they did, them would not say what they must say.
Serious.
Yes, man.
Listen to it.
On the black church, and this is why we also have to acknowledge the role of the black church historically. The black church was really instrumental in raising the consciousness of black people in the early days before the prosperity gospel and on and they take over and kind of get straight. But the black church was a center of resistance during Jim Crow, and you had some serious militant black pastors, and they, even though were coming out of a Protestant tradition for the most part, they were reading the Bible and seeing Ethiopia written in the Bible, and they were identifying that the Israelites were black people. And this is, when you get Rabbi Arnold Ford, we see the Hebrew Israelites are wear them purple suit, and we think is a new thing. You know what I mean? But this concept of black people being Israel is a long time tradition, as long as black people could read the prophecy for themselves.
Like I say, I and I personally subscribe to the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, and I don't subscribe to black people being an Israelite. First and foremost, I and I view the Israelites, the Bible, this is I and I personal interpretation, as the precursor. Noah is a white man, as far as I and I are concerned, because him come out of the Caucasus Mountain, and if you know the origins of the Caucasus Mountain, a matter of fact, me I look at Noah as a proto-Viking, because Vikings come, the modern concept of what a Viking is, them come from boats and ships, and them come in a strange land, take over and conquer. At the same thing the Hebrew Israelites them do. And then it start from Noah, trickle over, and the first thing, like I said, and the reason why I identify Noah as a white man is because the first thing him curse Ham. And when you know about him curse Canaan, the son of Ham. Because Ham see him nakedness and him turning and curse Canaan. And based on that, the Hebrew Israelites them farm out the bloodline there, through Shem. And they becomes that with that divide and rule, conquered mindset, white people mindset, domination, oppression and domination. and it manifests thousands of years later, where I and I identify as another aggressive, recessive people, which is white people currently, where we're popularly known as white people. The Hebrew Israelites, when you look and follow them, how them operating in the Bible, are the same mindset as white people in our earth. So this is why I identify them as white people. And them are not black people. Them don't like black people. Look on them and them works and them don't think them like about black people or black woman. And I see same thing present day today. Abraham with Keturah and Agar, Moses too, Zipporah. Them love black woman, but them not like black man. And this is why I and I say this thing. I just said I and I don't see I and I self as not Hebrew Israelites. I know Israelites for that matter. And they said people them just mask them story and it through a biblical lens or pretext.
Self, they were identifying, they were connecting the dots that these people written in the Bible were not Europeans and that they must have been black people because they were identified in conjunction with the Ethiopians.
And another reason why I say them and the black people, you have one time when I put the argument say, oh, them in a black land are ray. Yeah, same how you have Jamaican in America behave like still behave like Jamaica. And all them do that, them interbreed amongst themselves. I see same thing Abraham do. Because the first thing Abraham declared to them is them must breed with the Canaanites them. That means that them not a mix. Separatist ideologies were evolved into what we call racism today. Them never depend miscegenation. So when the ones that want to come from in our chattings, that is my example. Don't get it twisted and feel like say no black man and a white man could in a black space. At them space and time, I choose a black land. At them space and time, them play the geographic land space for them. The Middle East today was dominated by black people. But these proto-Vikings, northern, aggressive, recessive people that slowly but surely as time so and change the whole dynamics. And if you doubt me, I tell you, we can use America as an example. The natives them was there. And who dominate America now? Now white people. Was it originally so? No. Same thing with Egypt. Same thing in Canaan, the Middle East. Same thing in Mesopotamia. And them same man come. Slowly but surely, different groups of them come and spread out in the land and take them time. Slowly but surely and conquer the whole land and change the whole color dynamics of the land. And change the mindset of the people them too. Because sometimes you conquer people through their mind, as we see presently with I and I as black people. Our mindset and we are so divisive is unbelievable. We are the only set of people who want to be everything other than ourselves, other than be black people. Yeah. So I don't want to come to things say when I and I attack, I and I not cognizant of the fact why I and I say. I and I is no damn Hebrew Israelites, so no go away with that. I and I are Rastafari.
Ethiopian, Kush was a landmark in the Bible that gave people that authorship, and this is why we had the explosion of the Abyssinian Baptist Church, of the different Ethiopian, the whole history of Ethiopianism. So this article is showing us, and Reverend Webb, you see the Negro Universal King coming to the world. You see this article here, and then we have right beside it. This is Prophet Redding, and we're going to learn about Prophet Redding. This is, probably the first Rastafari militant, in terms of man with pick up arms and
Kwasi, Prophet Redding is no Rastafari. Don't spread that propaganda they kick. Don't regurgitate fallacy propagated by black Americans because they want to take ownership of Rastafari. Prophet Redding is not a Rastafari. Prophet Redding, if you want to give him Rastafari, you can't give him that. But Prophet Redding is the star of the Ethiopia. That is the name of my movement. And he is a black nationalist. Yes, he is. Is he an Ethiopian? Yes, he is. Is he Marcus Garvey potential? Yes, too. You know what I mean? You can give him all of that. Is he Pan African? I guess you can give him that too. But one thing I'm not going to get is no Rastafari, because he never declared the divinity of Emperor Haile Selassie. And you can't be a Rastafari if you declare the divinity of the king. You can't be anything else, but you're not Rastafari if you're not declaring the divinity of the king. So Kwasi, stop that, virgin.
Was cheap. You know what I mean, in terms of that radical side, which we would later see in places like Dominica, where Rastas picked up arms to defend their rights and things. Most of the movement rejected that lane, but there were people in the early movement that decided to go that route there, and Prophet Redding was one of these early Rastafarites who did that. So we're gonna hear more about him further down in the article. But these are two people that we want every Rastafari person to do. The same way that we reverence Leonard Howell and we talk about Leonard Howell and Dunkley and Hibbert and all these ones.
You're wrong again. Them can't go into the category of the four columns because them not declare the divinity of Rastafari. So there you go again, Kwasi. Leg off of them crap there. Them fallacy there. You're way too intelligent for endorse that king. As a man, we are declare Rastafari. You can't spread that propaganda there on your platform. We acknowledge Prophet Redding with the works we do. We acknowledge James Morris Webb for the work with them do. But none of them not declare Rastafari as divine. None of them.
These brethren names should call in the same light as these ones as pioneers.
Negative on that.
We're going to talk about why it never catch in America with this foundation. And if you have any songs that you want to share in the comments, please share with us.
And like I said earlier on already, I already say it again, I declare it again. The reason why Rastafarites, because there was no Rastafarites in at the time. There was no Rastafari in at the time of Prophet Redding. It was Rastafarites because the follower of Tafari. Prophet Redding was the follower of Tafari. Prophet Redding wasn't the follower, and Prophet Redding never declared the divinity of Emperor Haile Selassie I the first. Jah Rastafari. That is the difference. So this is the reason why it never catch on, because them never did declare Rastafari. And I must repeat it again. And I will continue to do so. That's why it not catch on, because when Prophet Redding dead, the movement, theme movement dead. Because nobody after them don't make example out of them, including Prophet Redding, where them hang him. The rest of followers them take them time dismantle themselves and fade away in the annals of history. Rastafari, from the moment the elders them declare Rastafari until this present day, Rastafari there and I grow stronger and stronger because I and I declare the divine. I and I not declare the man. I and I declare the divine. His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the first.
They must have been black people because they were identified in conjunction with the Ethiopians. The Ethiopian, Kush was a landmark in the Bible that gave people that authorship, and this is why we had the explosion of the Abyssinian Baptist Church, of the different Ethiopian, the whole history of Ethiopianism.
Excuse
So this article is showing us, and Reverend Webb, you see the youth call in the same light as these ones as pioneers. And again, we're going to talk about why it never catch in America with this foundation. And if you have any songs that you want to share in the comments, please share with us. Please share with us in the comments why you think the spark of Rastafari never caught on from this tradition with Webb and Redding, and we'll read about some others to come. Anthony Rogers was from Anguilla, Bongo Wisely. That is correct. And this is why I say Black Americans, people from the Caribbean and Africa, because, when we look at the emperor's emissaries, they were Africans. When we look at James Webb, Black Americans, Redding, Black Americans. And then we look at Anthony Rogers, we have the Caribbean. We look at Marcus Garvey, the Caribbean. So this divide and rule tactics, as Rastafari, we have to be like the Marines, meaning that we're the tip of the spear to attack this tribalism and they're trying to destroy Pan African
In that
vibration with this vision and these diaspora wars.
in that regard, I agree with that question. The divisive mindset of a stop. And a Rastafari can't stop it. Because Rastafari is the only all of the other black school that taught them. Them always at the ending point of them give them power to somebody else. Hebrew Israelites at the end, I give a case in point to the Hebrew Israelites. Currently we are going on with them right now. Them going to Israel, migrate to Israel, and then put them in a Dimona. If you know the history of Israel, Dimona are the nuclear testings, where them test them nuclear weapons. The Israelis them. And now them dead, and what them do with them now? Eventually, them upgrade them, give them some of them citizenship, and guess why them give them the citizenship? For them end up fighting at them army and turn entertainers. So at the end of the day, when you be a Hebrew Israelite and you say you're Hebrew Israelite and you want to go to Israel, you're going to be a servant to who? The northern aggressive, recessive people who call themselves Israelis. The same thing again with his nation or Islam. Or Islam, black people going to Islam. Your uncle go turn yourself into a servant and warriors for Islam. And who control Islam? Northern aggressive, recessive people we call themselves white people call themselves Arabs. And if you're going to Christianity, the same thing. And I can love use, you see him how Tariq, when Tariq go in a 7-11 area, when Tariq go in a Iberia, the Iberia Peninsula, where you call Spain and Portugal today, and go conquer it. When Tariq go up in there, the Caliph them never sanction Tariq. Tariq go up there with him and him soldier them and go conquer that. And when him come back and them find out what Tariq come back with, them strip Tariq and go up in there themselves and get the glory. So therefore, the Moors, them are the black Moors, them end up a conquer all in Spain and Europe. For the Arabs, them. But at the end of the day, the Arabs, them call the shots. Till eventually, you have some Africans, Northwest African, change the dynamics and different take over. But nonetheless, initially, Islam, the spreading of Islam in a Iberia, Spain, and Iberia, Spain, and Europe, a black man. What them call them the Moors. But they were serving an Arab master. That is another case in point again. And we're not even going with Christianity. Because of the same thing again. All of the early church founders of Christianity were Africans. The Tertullian, the Augustine, all of these ones are black people and then build it and where Christianity turn around and do. Come and conquer black people. This is how I get over here. Are Christians. So this is why when I declare Rastafari is a reclamation of I identity. and restoration and reconstruction of I people. This is what Rastafari is about. So this is when I talk to Dijama Kwasi and Ronald Pennycook, the elder Ronald Pennycook, and a contest, a counter them argument. Because Rastafari is an identity. It's the reclaiming of I identity. And I refuse to accept anything other than Rastafari. And the history of Rastafari started in Jamaica. Because Rastafari came to be, the name Rastafari came to be in a theology structure and the proponent of Rastafari with the early elders them. And them declare Rastafari. Before that, you had no Rastafari. In a oneness. You have no Rastafari theology. There was none until the Jamaicans them, Leonard Howell, Archibald Duncan, Robert Hines, and Joseph Everett declared the four columns and declare Rastafari. There was none before that. There's no name Rastafari. And that me I talk about. And this is why I declare Rastafari, because I own. It not belong to nobody else. And it's the only vehicle we can organize I as black people and liberate I. And this is why I depend on this sound here. I defend Rastafari and I articulate Rastafari. And we not stop do it. And like I said, when it comes to Rastafari, I don't care. I go against anything. I don't care if your ear long. I don't care if your ear grey. If you're not let go the right sound, I have to talk to you. In defense of Rastafari. Because it's nothing personal. I just speak through the lens of Rastafari. As a student of Rastafari. I have a roar. I a lion. I is no sheep. No sheep, no they run so. When it comes to Rastafari, Rastafari is resistance.